What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So for today's video, we are checking out two clips, if you will. The first one is going to be a scene, like the majority of a scene from the Flash movie has been released, and then we're going to check out the very final trailer for the Flash movie. So if you didn't know already, this video will be timestamped just in case you want to skip past this first scene. I don't know if it's spoiler reasons. It doesn't seem to be mega spoilery. It's kind of stuff that we've seen in the trailer from what I can gather. But then there's the actual final trailer, so I want to check that out, see if there's any new shots. We can bring up some new theories of what could be going on. And I'd love to get your involvement down in that comment section. Let me know what you think of what we're about to watch together. Go ahead and like this video, leave a like on it if you do go on to enjoy it. It really does support my channel, so I'd really appreciate that. And do consider subscribing for more videos just like this. But let's first take a look at the scene, and then eventually in this video we will get to the final trailer. Again, video is timestamped with chapters. Feel free to move around if that's what you want to do. Good old back computer. Look at it.
Is this what I think it is?
Yes. See, again, a lot of similar trailer footage. Oh, the score.
I used to see this thing on the news when I was a kid.
Nice. Man, that's loud. Oh, it looks so clean.
If you get this Superman, then you're on your own.
You are here.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
So, okay, it just ends there. So, one thing I have to say immediately off the bat is that I think one thing that I've already underestimated, and I am aware of this oddly at the same time, is that this movie is gonna try and, you know, capitalize off quite a bit of nostalgia. I mean, we kind of already know that anyway, as I said, with regards to all of these rumored cameos that are going to be in it. Obviously, Michael Keaton, but I think I just got, now that I've seen the scene from the movie and you hear that soundtrack with it, it is just, it's such a peak Batman sound that when you combine it with what we're seeing here with the huge set that we get of the Batcave environment, because if you didn't check out one of my previous videos, we saw like a, you know, character spot, if you will, for Batman, and Andy Muschietti and Barbara Muschietti talking about Keaton coming back into the Batcave, how he even filmed it to send to Tim Burton because he was that impressed by it. Just seeing it here, it's just really impressive. Now, there's not too much to really say about this scene. I thought they might have included a little bit more, but this is clearly when both Barrys enter the Batcave. I assume that the DCEU Barry kind of knows where to go, because even though things are starting to look a little bit different and whatnot in this new world that he's in, he knows that Bruce has a Batcave chilling somewhere. So they go in there, and then, but mind you, maybe they have already met him, because we do hear Michael Keaton's Batman say, "I'll help you get this Superman, but then you're on your own." So I think he's kind of hesitant to begin with, but what we're probably going to see is this Batman being reinvigorated with a bit of a mission, because you can't just help get Kara. They think it's Superman at this point, because they have no other reason to believe that it wouldn't be Kal-El, and that's going to be another surprise in the movie, to the characters at least. But the set does look really impressive, and some people were replying to my comments about the CGI in my last reaction video. I'm mainly talking about what a lot of other people are saying, and I think we're probably going to see some more shots in the final trailer. But a lot of people on the internet, mainly Twitter from what I'm seeing, are clowning on a few CGI shots, so we'll get to that, and I'll give my opinion on that. But from what I'm seeing here, it looks really good. But that's mainly because I would say a lot of this set, of course there's CGI in like the backdrop and stuff, but it's actually bigger than what you'd think it would be. But overall, enjoyable clip. Awesome seeing the Batwing come down. We have the other DCU Barry saying, "I haven't seen this on the news since I was a kid, because Batman's been inactive until now for quite a while." It would be really cool. I doubt we're going to get references to this with regards to any Robins, because don't forget, this may jog some of your memories. When we had filming for the Batgirl movie, there were murals like on the set of Batgirl of Michael Keaton's Batman, a Robin there, kind of looking like Dick Grayson, and obviously that was all a part of the post-Flash world of what they were launching into with other future movies, and how Michael Keaton was going to stick around, going to be in the Batgirl movie. There was rumors of like a Batman Beyond-esque movie. This was all under the previous Warner Brothers regime plans. So I don't know if we're going to get any kind of, larger context to this version of Michael Keaton's Batman and what he's been up to, what happened to his Bat family. I don't know, but now it is time to dive into the final trailer. And I've heard that this trailer might have some copyright music in it, so if it does, don't be surprised if there's a couple of seconds of audio cut out of it. It's just the way it works. YouTube Content ID comes down hard with things like that. But let's go. Okay, so we've seen this before.
Hi.
I love you.
Thank you.
Passing you into Mr. Wayne.
Alfred!
Don't.
I need you here now, Barry.
I need you here now, Barry. Okay.
So you're saying you could travel back in
Nice.
time?
But Bruce, I can fix things.
A lot more Batfleck shots.
Save people. I can save my mom. I can save your parents.
Okay.
You can also destroy everything.
Cool. Out of the Speed Force.
Love you, Mom.
I love you too.
So how was it this week? How's school?
School was good.
Okay.
Oh,
The blue lightning
this
still.
is mad trippy. Dude, this is catastrophic.
Okay. The Pink Floyd is there.
Must die.
Alright.
I'm not gonna lose her again.
Kara versus Zod.
Clark.
My name is Kara. I will help you.
Nice.
Interesting group.
Want some help?
Oh.
Wait, he's Batman?
Hey, what's all that down his face?
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
There it is. Nice. Another angle.
Oh, this rips!
The copyright music, no. No.
Uncharted territory.
Oh. Oh.
Not to die.
I'm looking forward to that Batfleck action. And that bit there.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
Nice. Okay, I've got something to say about that ending scene there.
You have fancy friends.
You know, it was an Uber. Oh, exec.
Okay, that Barry and Iris scene. So, as for a final trailer, I would say I would have liked to have seen a bit more, but at the same time, it's dangerous talking about or like wanting that, because then maybe we would have seen way too much. And of course, you've obviously already got a lot of comments out there saying, oh, we've already seen the whole movie already. I don't think so. I'd like to think that we haven't. I mean, this is quite a long movie, and I think we keep seeing more or less the similar things or the same things, because that's indicating to me that there's still a whole bunch that we haven't seen, at least I'm hoping. But we did get quite a few interesting scenes at the beginning there. So obviously we have Barry, as I'm scrolling through it on my screen, we get that same scene of the Flash fans seeing him and just freaking out. But what we didn't see before is freaking Alfred come back. Now, I actually really, and you guys probably know this already, I really like Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I've been a big fan of Jeremy Irons my whole life, to be honest. I think I first saw him in Aragon, if anyone remembers that. I freaking loved him in that. But it is funny because like patching you through to Mr. Wayne, and then we get a nice look at Batfleck's Batcave again, which is nice with Alfred in the background there. But we have Batman just being like, Barry, I need you here now, because he's being caught up with the fans, so he has to rush in. So I think this is all a part of the somewhat, I don't know if I want to say rumored Justice League scene, but because we already know from major trades that we are getting that, but I think it could have been maybe a lot bigger, because maybe it was meant to include Superman, and I don't know if Wonder Woman's still going to be in it. That's something to consider as well. It could just have been reduced to a Flash and Batman taking down crime situation, similar to the prequel comic that came out. As I go throughout the clips, we see the same stuff of Batman getting dropped off on his bat cycle, looks badass. Again, and I'm only bringing this up because, again, I got some comments saying, what's happened to movie discourse today? All we talk about is CGI. What about the story of the movie? I do agree, by the way. I'm kind of in the middle. I think movies, and I just want to talk about this for a second, can be good movies even with some unpolished visual effects. If a script's amazing, if a story's amazing, and the CGI could be maybe a bit better, it doesn't necessarily make it a bad movie. However, I do also agree with some other people who say that, in the cinema or on the big screen, you also want to have this really powerful visual effects blockbuster experience. So when people talk about the CGI here, they're on about that kind of smooth Play-Doh-esque effect, if you know what I mean. And it's funny because I talked about this in the Flash CW TV show yesterday. And by all means, I do not remotely think this is on the same level at all. I'm a lot less fussy about it. Sometimes it does stand out to me, but I do think Batfleck looks fine here. I think what most people are talking about from the discourse I've seen online is when you get to the clips of the main fight with the US military against Zod, Kara, both Flashes, Batman, you name it. I think there's a couple of shots in there that people are nitpicking and freeze framing and putting onto Twitter. Some people are also defending it, saying that even the screening copies from Warner Brothers, they're saying that it's actually the unfinished version. And, that begs the question of, will it be that much better in the actual theatrical release? We're going to have to wait and see. But I think it's all subjective. Some people are more fussy on this than others. Some people will be like tearing into it. Some people will be like, okay, I can acknowledge that. But the overall product, was I like happy with this? The story? How did it resonate with me? How was it thematically in this, that, and the other? I'm kind of more on that level. But as a comprehensive review, of course, visual effects does come under the umbrella of what you would talk about. But I'm not gonna lie, as I'm resuming the trailer here, that's why I keep looking at my screen. I love seeing Batfleck just go freaking ham and the sound effects of that bat cycle just firing as he goes throughout Central City. This is where we get to the clip of that boy approaching whoever, and the world engine is in the background. But something that people pointed out that I don't think I've spoken about so much is you can see that character in the background. Now I believe that is the other Barry, so the younger one, who is somewhat in the training mode of maybe getting his powers. I have absolutely no idea if that's true, but it does make sense with our DCEU Barry going over to this new timeline, if you will. This younger Barry might not be so aware of his powers, or if he's even got them at that point. And he kind of, do you remember in the CW's Flash where they went to that air test field place and he wore the bicycle-esque helmet and all of that stuff? It seems that they might be doing something like that. I'm not positive about that, but I've heard a lot of people say that this is the other Barry, looking like a bit goofy. He's got knee pads on, he's got the helmet on. Then next up, we get some very interesting scenes of our DCEU Barry saying he loves Nora. Now, this is him obviously pretending to be the other Barry, playing his role in the house, but they don't quite realize that this isn't their son. They must just think that he's had a haircut. That's probably going to be a line in the movie, and then they're going to get super confused and just be like, how did you get your hair back? I'm assuming when the younger Barry comes back in the scene. But speaking of that, we actually have Henry Allen and Nora have breakfast with Barry, because think about it, Nora never got killed, Henry Allen never got put away to prison, and the DCEU Barry is just like, school's fine. But then he sees the other Barry coming back home. Now, I have no idea what he's doing. What's he carrying there? I think this could be at a point in where the DCEU Barry hasn't met the other younger Barry, and the other younger Barry's just coming home. This is when he probably races outside, and as per what we see in the other trailer, he pushes him up against the wall and it's like, you've got my face. So I think our DCEU Barry at this point in the film doesn't realize that coming over to this new timeline is actually another version of him. And notice how he has the blue lightning here. Now, a couple of videos back, I was talking about, oh, how does Barry get the yellow lightning? And people were like putting down in the comments, obviously, it's the suit. And I did entertain that idea, and it's not like I didn't think of that. It's more that I was hoping the DCEU Barry would have his lightning upgraded through that of the law of the Speed Force, rather than them both having blue lightning, which they do, you know, as we've seen before, the DCEU Barry has blue lightning. But I was just hoping that it would be a bit more than, hey, put on this suit, your lightning's yellow. I just wanted, again, more of like his experience as a speedster actually levels him up. But again, as what most people are saying, it does seem to be when he's out of the suit, he's got the blue lightning. When he's in the suit, it gives him the yellow lightning. Eventually in the trailer, we see both Barrys suited up, so it looks like they're getting ready to go to the final battle. And we see Kara say that she's going to help them. You can even see on one of the monitors there's a news reporter talking or reporting about the world engine in Metropolis. Now, after this, we get a lot of familiar footage, but the next part we get, even though this is familiar footage as well, we get a bit of an extended look at Batfleck just going crazy here, like surfing with his grapple hook and then jumping off the top of a car. And I can't wait for that sequence. I've heard that, and I'm sure many of you have, that it doesn't last massively long in the movie, Batfleck's screen time, but I'm sure a lot of fans are going to appreciate it nonetheless, because it does seem to be quite a cool sequence of him just kind of going all out. And again, even Ben Affleck rates his time in the Flash movie very, very highly, to the point of where he feels like he finally nailed like the role and the vibe of Bruce Wayne and Batman. And then at the very end, you get a bit of an extended look at the Flash sending this little speedster tornado, and this is what we saw in the previous trailers, in where we get that Kryptonian follower of Zod's caught up in it, and people were thinking that was Dark Flash, and they still do to this day. But it's not. It's just one of the Kryptonians. And then I think the other Barry, we can see him in the background, he circles round, and when you compare it to the other clips, he like does a jump speed kick at the Kryptonian, of which, again, lots of people are freeze-framed and think is Dark Flash. And then, of course, you have the end with Bruce Wayne leaving Barry's apartment with Iris coming over. And that is it. So overall, as a final trailer, yeah, I mean, if you weren't looking at this movie as closely as I do or we do, it would have been like a really like mind-blowing trailer. And I thought it was cool. It's just, I think for me, what I'm trying to say is it didn't feel like I saw like tons of new things, although there were a few cool new clean shots. There was another one of Keaton that I didn't really mention. But overall, what did you guys think of the first scene, the Flash final trailer? What was your favorite moment in both of them? But also, what about this has got you hyped about the movie? That's one thing I want to post to you guys to kind of end it on like a positive note, because there's a lot of discourse about this movie, but what are you most looking forward to? Are you going to see this movie, I guess, first of all? But if you are, what are you anticipating most? I've seen lots of people say, oh, you know, it's all manufactured, but there's waves and waves and waves and waves of like tons of people who have seen it now, like tons. They're even letting like people like go to fan screenings, and some people who may have got a ticket to go in there might not be like a hugely biased DC fan, and lots of people even then are still saying it's a fun, really good time. So do you believe the hype? Let me know that down in the comments below as well. But I'm going to end this video here, guys. So leave me a like if you did enjoy it, especially if you got this far in the video. Consider subscribing, of course, for more videos just like this. And of course, eventually a review for the Flash movie. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you fellow speedsters in the next video. Goodbye.